What up, ET Squad? It's your boy Phoenix.
And your girl Majesty and more.
And we're back with another video. And today, we're back with straight up conversations. And today's topic, we're going to talk about business once again. And I have a good friend of mine, David Symes, and I just want to say that we met at a business organization that brings small business owners together, and we got to know each other from our various backgrounds, and just being able to connect with one another and talk and enhance each other. It was a great opportunity to build upon each other because we know iron sharpens iron. So
absolutely,
I want to give you the floor right now just to tell a little bit more about yourself.
Oh man, no problem. My name is David from Dayton, Ohio, born and raised. I've been living here in Texas for 6 years. I own a Valet trash company and a credit repair company. And married, have one child, have a son, and life is great.
Oh, so let's jump into these questions real quick.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do it.
So first one, we'll go in real easy. How long have you been in business?
I've been in business since 2014.
Okay.
2014, but I got my first deal in 2016.
Okay.
So in between that time, I was still working a job and still trying to do my business. And then I got my first contract in 2016, but profitable since 2017.
Where did you get your entrepreneurial spirit? Wow, I'm tripping. Entrepreneurial spirit from?
Good question. So it's funny that you asked me that because I was talking to my mom the other day, and that was one of the topics that came up. And to be completely honest with you, I've always been a hustler. I used to sell my Pokemon cards, my Yu-Gi-Oh cards. The kids that used to glorify and keep the hologram Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
Charizard, Blastoise. I would just sell them, just to go buy some candy or something. But when I got into my teenager years, I started selling weed. Yeah, and the only reason why I started selling weed was because every time that I go hang out with my friends and my cousins, they always smoke. I never smoked because my mother was on drugs. So I never did any drugs because I was afraid of I was going to be like that. So I want to be totally different. And so every time I hang out with my friends and my cousins, they'd be calling the weed man, just trying to smoke and you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So I'm like, maybe if I can have the weed around me and they buy it off of me. It was illegal, but that's how I was like, you know what? I need to capitalize off supply and demand. They need it, but every time they call their people, they don't show. They're like an hour away or stuff like that, but I'm always hanging out with them. I don't smoke.
Yeah.
I sell it to them. And so that's what I did, but I was never into it too deep where I was moving pounds and all the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I knew that I love the process of taking something small and making a profit off of it and just doubling up and quadrupling up and stuff like that. So that's where I got my entrepreneurial spirit from.
So what is your idea of your businesses? Was it something that you always wanted to do far as the valet and the credit, or did one come after the other?
Good question. One came after the other. When I was living in Atlanta, I lost a bet and I had to take out the trash. And yeah, no lie. And so I had to take out the trash. And so the compactor was way in the back of the apartment complex. And as I'm walking down the stairwell, this elderly lady, she was like, "Excuse me, are you walking to the compactor?" I'm like, "Yes." And she tries to hand me $10, but I never took it. And so as I'm walking back to the compactor, all of these cars are driving with trash on top of their hoods, people walking just like me. But I didn't think nothing of it because this is in 2010 after, the recession and the market crash or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I moved here in 2014 to Austin, and I was talking to this girl at the time, and I went back to her apartment, and they had another valet trash company. And I'm like, wow, what is this? And she was like, well, we got valet trash. I'm like, what? And I told her my story. She said, you should do it. And I'm like, give me a name of it. I said, give me a name. And she said, Doorside Valet. And I was like, oh, I like that. And I just took it and ran with it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's how the valet trash business started. And then the credit started once I paid somebody to fix my credit. And some of the things came off, but he overpromised and underdelivered. And so I did some research. I read up on it. I read about the Fair Credit Act and the things that you can challenge and stuff like that. And I took some of the paperwork that he gave me and I added in my own little twist to it. And I did a test run on me, my wife, and my close friends and family. And once I seen it work, and then I was like, okay, I got it. It's working.
Yeah.
So, yep. Diversify.
Dope. So let me ask this: do you find it difficult to operate two businesses simultaneously?
I'm a multitasker. It works great because my wife, she's good at the paperwork, and I'm good at getting new customers and new clients and stuff like that. So we balance each other off. I have to be busy. Like if I'm not busy, I feel like I'm wasting my time. Like every minute, every hour, every day counts. Everything matters. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I'm wired,
Yeah.
But sometimes it can be, overcomplicated because when you fixing people credit, you become like a financial advisor.
Yeah.
Like it's not just you fix their credit, you take things off, and then it's like, okay, what's next? How do I get credit established? And sometimes I can't answer those phone calls or answer those questions right then and then just because I got my valet trash business. I'm a father too. I'm a husband. So I'm juggling a whole lot of things, but I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
So in the beginning of your businesses, what challenges did you face?
It's crazy too because when I first started my my trash business, I had asked 6 people to come on board with me. I'm like, hey man, look, this will work. And these people, we all were working at this company called Yodel at the time. And they were making 6 figures. I was probably making like 70 to 80K a year, whatever. I wasn't the best, but I wasn't the worst. And I'm like, me just working a 9 to 5 never worked out. And I'm always thinking bigger, no matter what situation I'm in. The challenges that I face in the beginning is getting past the no's, failing forward. I believe my first presentation was with one of the biggest management companies out there. I'm not going to say their names because I don't want to give them no promotion.
Yeah.
But it's one of the biggest management companies, and I got in front of them, and it was horrible, but I learned so much from that. I feel like in life and even in business, you have to make the mistakes to gain the experience to be better on the next run. But that was one of the mistakes, not knowing my business thoroughly, not knowing my numbers, and just understand when you starting off any business, no one is going to support you. People would tolerate your dreams, but they're not going to support you until you actually have something proven and showing, hey, I'm making money. Hey, I got business. Hey, I got opportunities. Hey, I'm networking. Hey, I done met this person. Once you start connecting those dots, then I think people will start to support what you have going on. But when you first starting off, everyone's just going to tolerate it because you're going to be so excited about what you got going on, and people going to be, oh, yeah, until they start seeing results like, oh, this, now he's here, now I'm there, But those were some of the challenges that I faced, and not having enough capital.
Yeah.
My wife, whenever she was going to school at the time, she would give me her school checks. That way we can buy marketing materials. We can go to the trade shows and things like that. So it was a blessing to have her at that moment because I didn't have enough money to do the things that I wanted to do to keep the brand moving forward.
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, 'cause that is
Yeah,
really one of the biggest challenges is the financial piece.
Oh,
Yeah.
But I want to kind of pivot and ask this question. So when did you know it was the right time to leave your job? Because you said that you were working and you were doing this as a side hustle, but when did you know that it was like, okay, yeah, it's time to make a move?
Good question. So I was working at this company called KPI Analytics. They're not in business anymore. And I was still cold calling on my lunch breaks, and I was still emailing on my lunch breaks. And I was trying to set up meetings on my lunch breaks to go talk to a manager. And I didn't have enough time to be 100% focused on my business. So one time I was having a stressful day, and I had called my mentor, one of my mentors, and I was just complaining like, man, I just need more time. I need time. I just need time. Like, if I have more time, I can be doing this. I can be doing that. And I never forget the words he said to me. He was like, you're treating your business as a hobby. You would never get to the point where you want to get to if you keep doing it when it's convenient and not when you need to be doing it 24/7.
right.
And when he said that to me, after I got off the phone with him, I called my wife and I told her that I was about to get fired on purpose. And this is a true story. This is a true story. It's a true story. So I told her, I'm like, I'm about to get fired on purpose because for me, finding a job is never hard for me. It never has been hard for me. It may have been challenging, but I'm a people person. I know how to talk. I know how to sell. And plus, I'm always into sales. So finding a sales job is always going to be easy for people because most people don't want to do it, And so I was doing sales, and I was like, you know what? And plus, I got hired through a temp service, and they kept prolonging to hire me on permanently. So when they kept playing with me like that, and then when I got frustrated, when I talked to him, I called my wife. I'm like, look, I'm about to get fired on purpose. She said, oh my God, what? So she's scared. We're scared. We're both scared. And so I got fired on purpose. I got unemployment. I got on food stamps. And these are the things that most people are afraid to do.
Right.
I'm not afraid to go back, to go forward even more. You know what I'm saying? So I got on unemployment. I got food stamps. And I think I was probably getting about like $400 to $500 a week or whatever the case may be. And so I got that. I was getting that. Then from there, I was working my ass off, knowing that I was pressed for time because my unemployment was going to run out soon. Yeah. So as I'm out here day to day, I'm talking about like if I seen an apartment complex being built in Austin, I was pulling over. Yeah. I was out the house from like 8, and I didn't come back home probably like 5 or 6. That's how hard I was hustling. Yeah. And nothing happened. So we went on a cruise. You know how you book a cruise in advance and it's already paid for, but you don't have no fucking money, but you go anyways. Yeah. That's what happened. So now, after all of this is going on, I'm still getting unemployment. We get on the cruise. We went on the cruise off of her credit card. We go on the cruise, and I had a breakdown. I broke down. This is the first time that my wife have ever seen me cry. I mean, I broke down because I'm like, what am I not doing? Why is this isn't working? It's not working. Like, why? Like, I know my price is good. I know everything is good. Why is this not working? Plus, I got the pressure from the unemployment running out. Like, why is this not working? When we got back off the boat, into Galveston on that Sunday. That next day, I get a phone call from the CEO of a management company that gave me my first deal. Gave me my first deal, and it wasn't enough to, take me out of my unemployment or job, because I still needed that to keep paying my bills.
Yeah.
But that day, moving forward, all I needed was momentum. And all I needed was to do is to be right one time, just to get that one deal one time, use him as a reference, and just keep going. And then from there, my unemployment was going to run out January 12th or something like that. I get and this is what took me, that working a job is not going to happen from here moving forward.
Yeah.
I got my first big deal for 518 units January 4th. Unemployment was running out next week. I was getting cut off next week.
Yeah.
And from there, everything started to happen. Everything started to happen because all of those times that I was going out that I wasn't getting nothing back, those seeds was already planted.
Yep.
Now they started to harvest a year and a half later, 8 months later, whatever the case may be, it started to come back tenfold. And that's how I knew, okay, but I still got to keep going. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah.
That's lit.
Yeah, that's dope. That's determination, perseverance.
For
real.
For real.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are some of the things that frustrate you about being a business owner or an entrepreneur?
Not having enough time. There's so many things that I want to do for people. There's so many things that that you can't get done in one day or a couple of days, couple of weeks, whatever the case may be. There's times where people don't handle business like how I would handle business. Like if someone asks me for a bid or for a contract, I'm on it. If someone is needing something, I'm on it. But when that doesn't get reciprocated back, that kind of frustrates me because it's like I'm not into politics. I'm into business. Let's get this out the way. You want our service because you're inquiring about our service, and then when I send you the bid or contract, you don't give me that same energy back. It kind of frustrates me,
Yeah.
So, but I'm learning. You learn as you go, and you learn as you grow. I'm into reading books and self-development a lot. And so Tony Robbins has said, once you start to see things happening for you and not to you, life becomes greater. And so when I do send out a bid, when I do send out a contract or something like that, and if I don't get it, thank you, God, that I didn't get it. Instead of saying, why I didn't get it, that's not my prices, hey, it wasn't for me,
Right.
And then you find out 6 months later, oh, that property's sold. Oh man, that manager wasn't the nicest person. Oh man, you start to find out little things I'm glad that I didn't get that deal because I would probably never got paid. There was so many times that I wanted to work with a certain management company, and then I'll call somebody that knows this management company very well, and then they'd tell me, oh, they don't never pay. And it's like, here I am trying to bust my neck and break myself to get in, knowing that it's not for me. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
What are some of your biggest achievements?
Being a father is number one. Having my son, that's one of my best achievements, is to see him and to raise my son and give him the life that I never had, and to provide for him on a whole nother level that, I can only dream of having. I'm trying to be the father that I wish I would have had.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for my son, being a husband, having a great wife plays a lot into the role of me doing the things that, I want to do. And it wasn't always like that, because our value system was different. I mean, she went to school to become a teacher, so her value system was to work. And my value system was, I'm not working for nobody. I'd rather I'd rather have my own faith in my own destiny in my own hands.
Mm-hmm.
And once she's seen the pros and cons of it, and then she got on the value system of being self-employed versus working for someone, and she gets the freedom, the time that she wants to have too as well. But even now, even that we're well off now, I'm still living my life as if I'm still trying to get my first deal. And I think that right there is what separates me from anybody else, because I feel like if it was somebody else in this position, they would get comfortable, they'd get complacent and things like that, but you can never get too comfortable. So I'm always working. I'm always working, you know, because I know in the snap of the fingers, anything can happen, like COVID. Good thing that I am an essential business, trash, and it's not really affecting me as much. But and my greatest, and then I will also have to say that helping other people, you know, and seeing their dreams become a reality, because I help so many people start a business. I help so many people, you know, give them advice and things like that. So I think that right there is a greater achievement versus any amount of money, because once you start making money and you know that it's there, it becomes useless unless you make it work for you and you start to invest it into other things. And that's some things that a lot of people don't understand, because due to their circumstances and where they are, they can't see themselves making X amount of dollars. And then when you get that, which you wish for and what you hope for, and once you get it, it's not as you thought it would. It's not as what you thought it would be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, just making sure you got a good team around you, good people around you, good energy, and you got a mind to be like, you know what, how can I not go broke again? How can I build other people up around me, so that way if I ever need something, if I fall off, they got me.
Yeah.
You got to start thinking like that.
I feel like that's a big thing, like, especially, like, you know, sometimes people are working towards, like you say, that one big deal. Then when they get that one big deal, they're gone. So it's like, okay, well, you're supposed to, you know, keep it up or whatever. So some people just get so big-headed sometimes, and it's like sometimes I feel like it's the person themselves that kill their own business.
Yeah.
Like,
like determination and perseverance is a big thing too, because I feel like that a lot of people want it, but they don't want it bad enough to not have a profit for 2 years. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Have a profit for 3 years. You know? Yeah. And it's like, if they go a month without any money, it's like, nah, I can't do this. Yeah. You know, I need to
they quit.
Next thing, or you know, I like to call them the hoppers. You know, they hopping from opportunity to opportunity.
The entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
The entrepreneurs.
But yeah, that's what it is, man. If it doesn't happen in that time frame, and I mean, like, granted, you can have goals and
no deadlines.
Deadlines, and you can hit certain things, but not everything's gonna go perfect. You know, there's gonna be bumps in the roads, and the thing is that if you plan in advance, you can kind of prepare for those things. Not saying that you're gonna be 100% prepared for anything, but being prepared is better than like hitting a bump in the road and then you like everything done fell off. Right. And oh, what am I gonna do now? You know?
We gotta be mindful too of the society we live in. Because everything right now, and I always makes fun of me, but I always say this: we live in a microwave society. Everything you can do something for 30 seconds and be an Instagram model. You can do something for 10 seconds and be a YouTuber. Like, it's just it's crazy. So a lot of people, when it comes to entrepreneurship, they don't pay attention to, like, you're gonna have to actually work for what you want. It's not just gonna happen like where you wake up one day and be like, oh, Corey, go run and do this. Hey, you don't wake up with a whole team of people. You have to work for that. And they don't understand that.
Yep. I 100% agree with both of you guys. And you know what, man? And I think you are totally right when you said that we live in a microwave world. And you know, with the social media, people see the cars, people see the jewelry, people see the
Yeah.
trips and stuff like that. But that's like that's like the celebration of the hard work
Yeah.
that people do not see. So I'm conscious enough to know now to be like, if I see somebody driving in a Bentley or in a Mercedes Benz or any luxury type of living, I'm conscious enough to think and to know like that guy or that woman must work really fucking hard to get. A lot of people just see the success, but they don't see the hard work behind the success.
Yeah.
Rather it's material things, trips, clothing, whatever the case may be. But just know and just be conscious enough to think like if someone have what you desire to have, that person works hard for it. You know what I'm saying? That person works hard for it. So it's not like anything is given, everything is earned.
Mhm.
You know, so
It's very crazy because we've had several friends where like they talk about wanting to start a business and whatever. And like Corey and I are the greatest cheerleaders. Like we will cheer you on to, you know, hey, we don't know nothing about what you're doing, but go get it. Like, yes. You
yeah,
can do it.
yeah, yeah.
But a lot of them, they like literally, I don't know, it's just so weird to me how people just literally wake up sometimes and it's just like, you know what, I'm gonna start a business, which is great. But you know, they don't do the research of what they want to do. They don't pay attention to, you know, who their market is, who are they marketing to, and like what your actual niche is or whatever. They just literally wake up and they're like, you know what, well, Walmart is this entity, I'm gonna just do what they do. But you don't know what Walmart does on the back end. Like you haven't paid attention on your research. So I mean, but you go do you, boo. That's fine.
Yeah. You know what, too, man? It's crazy that you say that too. It's just because, and that's one thing that I had to learn is to give advice whenever they ask for it.
Yep.
You know, I'm not gonna volunteer. You may be doing something. I'm like, why the hell you doing that? You know what I'm saying? But if you don't come and ask me my opinion, I'm not gonna say anything. I'll just let you figure it out on your own. But you know, I just think that people just think becoming an entrepreneur is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
And I disagree. And I disagree. I think it's the most gruesome thing that you will ever go through. Some people get divorced behind it. Money becomes an issue, stress. You know, it's a lot of stuff that comes with becoming an entrepreneur. Yes, you get the house, you get the car, you get the trips, you get the money, you get all of these other perks and benefits, but at the same time, it's a lot of stress, you know, because once you get the money, once you get the client or the customer, how do I keep them?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Then when you get the money, when you start making more money than you ever dreamed of making, how do I keep it? How do I sustain it? How do I diversify my portfolio? How do I, you know, make sure that I'm good? Where do I put my money?
Right.
You know, do I put it in stocks, mutual funds, 401k, Roth IRA, real estate? Do I start another business? You know, these are the things that you have to start looking at. Like, okay, because I didn't come this far to only come this far. So how do I keep going? You know?
Right.
Yeah, I definitely agree because people make it out to look like entrepreneurship is so great and man, like it's frustrating sometimes. Sometimes you don't want to get up. Sometimes you know you don't feel like doing nothing. Like you get frustrated, you get burnt out. Because if like let's say for example you got a small team, like for example it's just me and my wife. So if it's just us two doing everything you see on camera and all of the stuff behind the scenes too, running the business, the logistics, the paperwork, like I mean everything, the keeping the entity legal, the compliance stuff, like the accounting, you know what I'm saying? Like it's
everything.
It's a whole bunch of moving parts to having your own business, and I feel like people don't realize that, and when they get hit with it, like, oh, I want to start my own business, and when they finally do it, and then they're like, whoa, like I didn't know they had to, you know, and they're like blindsided, and it's like, man, you know, we've been trying to tell you this from the beginning, like, you know, like that's why I love what you said earlier about having a mentor, because it's important to have a mentor or have somebody that they may not look at themselves as a mentor, but you look at them as a mentor because they've been down this road before. And it's important to have those types of people in your life so that you can kind of play off of what they did, whether they did right or wrong. You can still learn from whatever lessons or whatever journey they've been through.
Absolutely, man. And I have about 3 mentors that I look up to, and they give me great advice and great suggestions whenever I'm having a pickle or whenever I'm just like in a moment where how do I overcome this and things like that. Because just like you said, you are going to have those moments where you're going to come to an impasse and you're not going to know what to do. And when I feel like that, I take a vacation, I go somewhere and I reset. You gotta learn, you gotta balance it out to be like, okay, I've done enough. I've hit enough doors. I've cold called enough. I emailed enough. I did everything in my power to make sure that I'm putting in the work. Now it's time for me to just sit back and chill. And I promise you, when I do that, once I know that I gave it 150% and I left everything out in the field, and when I reset, I get emails. Hey, can you give me a contract? Hey, David, I'm following up with you. Hey, David. It never failed. I swear to you, it's almost like it's reverse psychology. It's like reverse engineering. It's like when you out there chasing it, they don't give it. But when you out there chasing it and you got the mindset, I don't care if I get it or not, it's gonna come back to me later. Yeah, come back every time, man. Every time. Just a little bit of patience. You gotta have patience.
That's dope. So if you could go back and change anything about your journey in business, what would you change?
Or if you would change anything.
No, I wouldn't change anything. I loved how my life turned out. I'm loving my life now. I love the fact that people did me wrong in business. I love the fact that people told me no. I love the fact that people lied to me to my face. I love the fact that everything that I thought was right was wrong, because it made me the person that I am today. It put a fire up under me. It lit something inside of me to be like, I'll show you. You tell me no, I'll show you. I'll show you. I'm gonna make you feel like you should have gave me an opportunity when I was knocking on your door. And now I'm gonna grow my company so big that you would never forget Doorside Valet. Even if I work with you or not. Thank you. Thank you. All the no's, all the disappointments, everything that I went through, it only make me stronger and make me better. So I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't even change how I grew up. My mother was on drugs, been to the penitentiary twice. I was coming out, I got tested for cocaine. I was cocaine positive as a baby coming out of my mother's womb. She had my sister in the penitentiary. And I was a misfit kid, went from pedal to post and living over here with my cousins, aunties and stuff like that. I wouldn't change nothing. I wouldn't change nothing at all. I wouldn't change.
That's dope.
You need to write a book.
I am going to write a book. I'm working on that too. I am gonna write a book.
Actually, I was gonna say there is this one thing that Grant Cardone says is that you shouldn't be in competition with your competitors. You need to dominate your market, and I feel like that's the mentality that you have. You're like, man, I don't care if I deal with you or not. I'm gonna still kill it. I feel like that's what, like, from how hungry that I hear you are, like, I feel that's what you have. You have that, that eye of the tiger. Like, look, I'm gonna get it by any means necessary, and everybody gonna see me get it. You know.
Yeah.
And I love that, man.
Yeah. And then the thing is too, it's like you have to be like that, and you have to be conscious about your market. So we moved to Dallas. We done triple, if not quadruple, our business here in Dallas versus being in Austin. I wasn't getting anywhere in Austin. I was stressed, depressed, beating up against a brick wall, not growing. I felt very stagnant at the time. And I kept telling my wife, I'm like, we need to move to Dallas. We need to move to Dallas because it's so bigger, so it's spread out. Austin was so small, cliquish, and things like that. And you cannot be afraid to make a move or a change or a shift in your life, whether it's for the betterment of your life situation, personal situation, or business. And I wasn't going to keep fighting a unfair fight anymore. You know what I'm saying? So we moved, and this was the best decision ever for me and my family, is to get up out of Austin, you know, due to lack of, you know, Black businesses that's thriving there, due to lack of small cliquish. In Austin, you got about 250,000 units. Here in Dallas Fort Worth, I have over 750,000 units that I can choose from. So I just left a pond full of sharks. Now I'm in the ocean full of fishes.
Yeah.
So you gotta be willing to change some things and be okay with being comfortable with being uncomfortable in a unknown situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's crazy. What are some of the things you need, or what would you say are some of the things you need to strive to be a business owner?
Shouldn't nobody tell you what to do. I mean, you know what you need to do whenever you own a business. You know that you need to get up. You know that you need to write down your goals, have a vision board. I have a vision board in my house. I have a whiteboard. You know what you need to do. If someone has to tell you what to do, it's not for you.
Right.
If you sleeping until 9-10 o'clock, you're not an entrepreneur. You need to get up. You need to be the first one up, last one to go to sleep, or first one to go to sleep to get some rest, whatever. Once you knock out everything, doing research. Just go back to what you said. Doing research on how you can become better, and knowing your competitor pricing and things like that as well.
Well, I'm gonna ask you this last question. This is the golden question. We ask this question to everybody.
Okay.
All right. So we kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but I want you to like dive into this. How important is it to you to have the support of your family, friends, and other business community on your journey?
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, I'm gonna answer this. I honestly believe that I owe it to myself to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't care, and I don't think it's as important to me what others think of me or how they view me.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want people to be happy for me and for my success and how far I've done came? Absolutely. Because you want people to cheer you on, you want people to support you. But that's not always the case, because it's always the envy, the jealousy, and, you know, or something, you know, because I've dealt with that even with my own family, my own blood family, you know. David making this, he can give this. Or he's doing this, I deserve this. Or he ain't really got it like how he think he got it. Or, you know, like, you got people like that, and 9 times out of 10, it'd be your family members thinking like that. But I feel like success, I owe it to myself to be the person that I truly want to be, for me and for my immediate family. Because ultimately, those are the people that I have to take care of. I have an obligation to take care of my kids and my wife and the people that work with me And then once my cup is running over, the extras, I can help out other people.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so that's the best way that I can answer that question. It's just I owe it to myself. You know, everybody owe it to yourself. I feel like if you grew up half not with the half nots and you dream of having things and owning things, you don't owe anybody anything. You owe it to yourself to be successful. I think success should be part of everybody's journey, you know, but my success may be different from your success.
Yeah.
Your success may just be making 50 grand a year on your own, having your own business. That's a success for you.
Right.
You know, what's successful to me may not be the same thing for you. So, and I really want people, once they see this video, is to understand success is really happiness. And you have to learn how to distinguish a feeling versus happiness. Like when you buy a car, is that happy? Is that happiness? Or is that just a feeling of excitement that I just got me a new car? And then a week or two later, it's like, oh, this ain't nothing but a fucking car now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, like it's almost like I bought an old school. I got a 72 Monte Carlo, right? And I really wanted an old school. I kept looking at old school. I wanted an old school. I bought the old school. I drove it. I had fun in it. You get a lot of, hey, that's a nice car. Yeah. After that feeling goes away, did that really make me happy? Right. No, it was just a feeling that I wanted to buy an old school. And I think people have to learn how to distinguish feeling from happy, truly happy, being happy.
That's legit.
Yeah, that's deep, man. That's definitely deep. Well, right now I want to give you an opportunity to just, if you want to promote something, tell us any discounts, promos you have that you want to give to our audience.
So first of all, Doorside Valet Trash. If you know any apartment complexes, any property managers, any leasing agents, or anything like that, they can go on our website, Doorside, DOORSIDE VALET, DoorsideValet.com. If anyone looking at this are in need of their credit to be repaired, I'm going to give you 50% off what we normally charge. You can contact me directly on Facebook, but you got to say you watch the video to get the discount. And my niece, she has a lip gloss business, so Candy Kisses by Leah J. You can follow her on Facebook. And other than that, man, I really want everybody to be successful. I want everybody to chase their dreams and their goals, and don't give up. As long as you don't give up, it will happen. That's a promise. It will happen. Just don't quit. Don't give up. You may have to change a few things, modify a few things, but if you don't give up, the goal is closer than you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dope, man. Well, we love it. Well, we thank you for participating today in this straight up conversation, and we just want our audience to know that, like we always say, this information is for you guys to take and use along your journey. So we hope you like the video, share it with some people that may benefit from it, and definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel.
And everything that David talked about, as far as what his business is and everything, all of that's going to be in the description below. So make sure y'all check it out and check him out. David, thank you again. I know me and you personally haven't talked. I've just yelled hey in the background. I will say, like, I really appreciate you taking the time, because for one, the businesses that you have, those are some hard businesses. First of all, nobody likes to take out their trash. And second of all, nobody wants to talk about money or credit. So like, you on your ball, you on your game.
Yeah. And you know what? One more thing too. I feel like we have to be comfortable with talking about money.
Yeah.
You know, like for a while, you didn't talk about money. You never talked about how much money you got saved. You never talked about how much money you're making. But you know, like even with my niece, like my niece is living, my sister, they're here in Dallas living with us now. And so I'm coaching my niece. She knows about gross income, net income, what's an asset, what's a liability, what's real estate, property taxes. She knows all of this stuff now. And so you gotta be comfortable with talking about money and understanding the money game.
Oh,
yeah.
And she's gonna appreciate that. I promise you. I wish somebody would have sat down and talked to me.
Me too. So I'm always trying to be the person that I wish I would have had in my life. And that's how I live my life. You know what I'm saying? So just try to be the best person that you want to be, and how you want to, and how you want others to perceive you, because I'm playing for legacy. So when I'm dead and gone, I want people to be like, oh man, he gave me the game. He taught me this. I learned so much from David. He didn't hold nothing back, was truthful, honest. That's what I want. You know, I play for legacy and leave my kids the business and stuff like that. So
that's it. That's it.
We love it, man. Once again, like we said, we appreciate you, man. Thank you for taking this opportunity, because we know you got a busy schedule, so we really appreciate it.
Yeah. I appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all, man. Y'all be safe. And I'll be in Austin next week to come see you, so we can do dinner or lunch or something.
That'll work.
Cool, man. All right, well, EP Squad, we'll see you guys on the next video.
Peace.
All right, peace. All right, see y'all later.
All right.